news from Maharashtra a day after the Supreme Court verdict. Former Maharashtra Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray has dared his rival Eknath Shinde and his ally BJP to face fresh elections a day after the Supreme Court verdict in the tussle between the two factions of the Shiv Sena. He also said that he would approach the Supreme Court once again if the Assembly Speaker does not take a call on the disqualification of Shiv Sena MLAs who had rebelled last year, leading to the collapse of his government. He said there should be action taken against the governor, Bhagat Singh Koshari, as a deterrent in the future. Yesterday, the Supreme Court had ruled that Mr. Shinde will get to keep his job despite gaining from an illegal decision by the then governor in a setback to the Uddhav Thackeray camp.
मागणी असून काही उपयोग नाही. अटल बिहारी वाजपेयींची उंची आणि आत्ताच्या लोकांची उंची ह्याच्यामध्ये जमीन आसमानाचा फरक आहे. हे अजिबात राजीनामा देणार नाही. कुणी मनात पण आणू नका. स्वप्नात पण देणार नाही तर प्रत्यक्षात कधी देणार.
अध्यक्ष महोदय त्यांच्या परीने निर्णय घेतीलच. त्यांना तो घ्यावाच लागेल कारण ती चौकट सर्वोच्च न्यायालयाने आखून दिलेली आहे आणि त्यांनी उलटसुलट काही केलं तर ज्याप्रमाणे आम्ही निवडणूक आयोगाच्या निकालाच्या विरुद्ध सर्वोच्च न्यायालयात पुन्हा गेलेलो आहोत तसंच जर इकडे वेडवाकड झालं तर पुन्हा आम्हाला सर्वोच्च न्यायालयाचे दरवाजे उघडे आहेत आणि त्याच्यानंतर जी काही बदनामी होईल ती मात्र मग यांना जगात तोंड दाखवायला जागा राहणार नाही. म्हणून मी पुन्हा एकदा सांगतो,
The Supreme Court has clearly said that the Speaker should decide on the disqualification of 16 MLAs in a time frame. So what Uddhav Thackeray or Shiv Sena UBT in general is saying that what is this time frame that the Speaker is deciding, and that's why they will be writing a letter to the Speaker asking them that what will be your time frame, because everything is on record, everything happened in the Maharashtra Assembly. There was a whip that was issued by the by then Shiv Sena, which is now Shiv Sena UBT, which wasn't followed, because remember that yesterday in the observation what Supreme Court has also said that appointing Bharat Gogavle as the chief whip of Shiv Sena of Eknath Shinde faction is illegal. And that is exactly what Uddhav Thackeray is focusing on and saying that now that they have all the record, there should be a time frame that would be decided by the Speaker, and within the time frame they should try to give a judgment. And if this doesn't happen, they will be going to the Supreme Court once again and asking the Supreme Court to decide a time frame. Number one. Number two, what Uddhav Thackeray also said is that yesterday in the observation the Supreme Court said how the governor at that time, Bhagat Singh Koshari, didn't follow the rules. There was no need to call for a floor test, and later we know what all happened. So he said if someone who is sitting at such a responsible post and does something which impacts the entire state, then there should be some action taken against Bhagat Singh Koshari so that this will be an example for other governors across the country. In fact, he also mentioned what happened in the Supreme Court regarding Delhi versus the LT and said that even there the Supreme Court has said that not every power should be with those who come from the union government. So these are the very strong observations that were made by the Supreme Court, and that is exactly what Uddhav Thackeray is following over here. In fact, challenging the current Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Eknath Shinde, that since we saw these harsh observations by the Supreme Court, you should resign and there should be fresh elections happening. Since this is democracy, let the people decide who will lead the state, and based on that we will see that who is leading the state. So yes, harsh decision, harsh observation which were made by the Supreme Court is what Uddhav Thackeray is banking on and challenging the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, and at the same time asking and demanding the Speaker to set a time frame to take the decision on the disqualification of these 16 MLAs.